Donald Trump has announced, guys, that he is doing a 5,000% tariff on all inflatable frog costumes from here on out. So if you're trying to get that frog for the protest, you're going to have to pony up, dude. Oh shit. Dude, I love the frog. All right, we're gonna talk to the frog. Are they sold out, the frog costumes? I bet they are, man. There's a number of things about the frog. First off, Trump's out there screaming about like burning Portland and war zone and rubble buildings and all that. And the frog from the very beginning was like, dude, these guys are not serious. These guys are a fucking joke. Trump is a joke. And so from the very beginning, this guy set the tone for the whole crumbling of Trump's National Guard narrative. And let me just tell you guys, make no mistake, the way Portland has done this with the inflatable animals and the frog and all of the PR that it got, this has totally blown apart Donald Trump's attempt at getting the National Guard there. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Like his National Guard plan of being able to win with the judges, all of that got blown apart by the Portland protesters. At the end of the day, when, 2 years from now, when Trump still can't militarize this shit, it's the blow-up costumes are the reason why it happened. Because ultimately, you can't have this kind of footage coming from in front of your ICE facility and then convince a judge that you have legal standing to bring out like the Insurrection Act or 𝗲𝗍𝗶𝗫. You know what I mean? Like, bro, there's just no way, dude. There's just no way, right? And yes, they were trying to provoke a 2020, but we're too smart for that. This is different than 2020. I mean, in 2020, we watched an innocent person get murdered. All of that shit was warranted. I have no regrets about 2020. That shit was warranted. This is different, though. This is more about us protecting immigrants from these toxic motherfuckers. I think there's going to be a frog statue, guys. I guarantee you there will be a frog statue in Portland. This was crazy. I love the little Jedi shit. The little Jedi move where he's backing him up. Dude, that is just too good, bro. And calling him an Antifa terrorist, right? There's just no way, dude. He's just like right in there. This was uncalled for. When the guy tried to spray the air vent, like, bro, there's no way, dude. That was ruthless. Right there. It is a strategy to cut the narratives of the Trump administration, which says we are extremely violent. No, we are protesting, but with humor. And I mean, dude, that's so powerful, bro. Like, they fucked Trump up with an inflatable frog costume. You know? Think about that. They fucked Trump up with an inflatable frog costume. You know what the best part is about the Antifa Frog? He's Hispanic. Dude. Isn't that amazing? He's Hispanic, bro. Yeah. Like, pony up, dude. All right, you ready? Yeah, let's watch this.
I think it's great. I think it shows that we're not violent.
What kind of suit are you wearing, Seth?
It's an inflatable frog suit.
Gotcha. And what brought you out to the protest to begin with?
To begin with, I personally, as part of the Mexican community, Latino community, I don't like seeing my neighbors, my community members, my family being kidnapped, essentially, and being disappeared without due process, and then being sent to different places around the world without any due process to it. And it's kind of ridiculous that they're being so aggressive and so inhumane with their treatment of immigrants. And that's why I'm here. I'm here protesting the inhumane way that ICE and DHS is treating our immigrants. Whether they're here legally or not, they should be treated as a human being, because that's what they are. That's what we are. We are humans, and we are not supposed to be treating other people unfairly just because we have the power to do so. Since you have that power, you should be even more careful with how you treat people.
Yes.
Because you have that much power, and it comes with a lot of responsibility. And it obviously started a movement of people showing up looking ridiculous, which is the exact point, is to show how the narrative that's being pushed with how we are violent extremists is completely ridiculous. Nothing about this screams extremist and violent. So it's just a ridiculous narrative that the Trump administration wants to put out so they can continue their fascist dictatorship.
Dude, isn't that amazing? Isn't he amazing? Dude, this guy, it's like, this guy fucking changed the world, man. Think about that. When I saw this interview, I was like, dude, I love this guy, right? He's just a kind-hearted, warm-hearted individual, you know, who was like, bro, be humane. You know, even if Trump, like, we all hate the policy, okay, of deportations and all this, but you could still do it humanely. You know, these are human beings. They deserve respect. And I mean, this guy just came out and literally changed the fucking world. The Portland protest frog didn't let a stream of chemical spray aimed directly at his costume's air vent stop him. I saw a comrade that got shoved really hard to the ground and helped him get up, and in the process, they sprayed my air vent where my air intake goes. He says, I was stuck in it for like an hour. But he said the spray tasted minty and wasn't that bad. I've definitely had spicier tamales, said Todd, still in costume, but with the top off to reveal his face. And despite the whimsy of the bulbous green outfit, Todd said he's serious about the reason he's a protest regular. Dude, that shit is fucking incredible, bro. It is like, it's the power of each of us, man. You know what I mean? The power of each of us. Like, you just don't know. You just don't know when you're going to have a massive impact. You know, I'm sure this guy showing up in the frog costume had no idea that it was going to have such a massive impact. We should not underestimate our own personal power. I mean, he's just being him, showing up at a protest, coming up with this idea of like, you know, let's humiliate it. But what I was going to say is that like our personal power is like way more than we know. And I know that with the Trump admin and the constant barrage, the flooding of the zone, how it's so overwhelming. Okay, you get on Twitter and it's so overwhelming. Everything is red pilled and it just feels like we're climbing an impossible mountain. But the thing is, too many people think, what's the point? And they stop themselves from showing up. And my point is as long as we keep showing up, we are having these huge impacts like the frog. You know, you just got to keep showing up like genuinely you to bring whatever you can bring, right? Like that guy just brought a touch of whimsy to the protest, frog costume, lighthearted to make his little statement. And he was literally a fucking shot heard around the world, you know? And my point being is that's all of us, okay? Your big moment tomorrow with the sign, or your big moment at the protest tomorrow to speak to a news person or to be there for somebody who gets pepper sprayed or something, like you showing up is going to reverberate in ways that you might not know, you know? Much the way they say in sports, they say next man up, right? That the idea is it doesn't matter if you're a star or if you're a bench warmer, you're the next man up. You just have to be ready to go when your number gets called, and you got to show up and give it your all. And the point is I think we all need to just remember, show up, just keep showing up, even if it feels impossible, even if it feels like it's useless. Show up anyway and let your own personal power be a part of this vast network, because we are not alone, guys. okay? There are more of us resisting this fascist bullshit than there are Trumpies, okay? They're loud, they're obnoxious, they have all the power, they have all the advantages, they have the megaphones from the social media networks giving them priority and shit. But we have the numbers, okay? We have the numbers and we have the personal vested interest because we actually have something to lose, okay? They're bullshit, okay? So just keep showing up and know that your little bit is helping the whole. And even if you think you're having no effect, you may be empowering the next frog. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's my thing. We just got to keep showing up. What is up, guys? Thank you so much for watching. You like the video, you want to support independent resistance media, you know what to do. Drop that sub, hit the like button, and please share it. And we do love our members, so if you want to become a member, it's another really great way to support. Thanks again for everything, guys. I'll see you next time. Let's go.